Oh, Tay, oh, Tay, oh, Tay. You heard it today. It's Michael here. Guilty, guilty, guilty. Yes, those three verdicts guilty, guilty, guilty sends one man to jail. Now, how long? We don't know, but at least we know Derek Chauvin is behind bars. But the fight is not over. It's not over. It's not over by a long shot. And if you think it is, you think wrong. I've heard a lot of opinions on the verdict. And basically, people have a right to their opinions. Some people say that he only should have been charged with one count and went with that one. Apparently, a lot of people say, well, he had a tough job to do. But here's my thing. This was not only a thing that happened in Minnesota. This had ramifications around the world. And this jury, I got to give them kudos because this is a tough case. It really was. People think it was an open and shut case, but really we've seen these things. Have not always been open and shut cases like we think they are. We saw it in 1992 with the Rodney King verdict. We saw it with George Zimmerman. We saw it so many times that these officers of the law who weren't held accountable for what they did. And I just saw a TikTok video with an officer, I don't know where he was from, demonstrating the weight of a taser and a gun and how they sit on a police officer's waist. I hope that officer doesn't get in any trouble, but he just told what it is how, I don't care how much training you give a person, you still can't train their heart and their mind. That's something that they have to work on. And you look at a person, and if a person looks at somebody as a threat, as a subhuman, then they don't need to be on the police force. A lot of these guys, and like me, they're former soldiers or airmen or Marines or whatever. And some of them, I hate to say it, they fresh out of combat. So when they get a badge and a gun, they still think they're fresh in combat. Okay, the enemy's right there. The enemy's right there. The enemy's right there. No. These people. And what the jury showed today, that George Floyd was a person. He was an actual person that actually lived 46 years. Despite his past, despite what he had done, despite who he and what he had done to him, he's still a human being. The shopkeeper who called the police, he said, maybe I shouldn't have just called the police. I could have handled that internally, or I could have handled that another way. Because as soon as I called the police, this man lost his life. Now we can say what we want to, this verdict. Yeah. We can do a hallelujah in the streets, but until we get comprehensive police reform, we're not going to get anything. This ain't going to happen. What you need to do is call your local representatives to Congress and tell them, call your senators and tell them that the George Floyd Policing Act needs to be passed. Now, I know Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina brought up a police reform bill, and honestly, it didn't hold water. It didn't hold the police accountable for their actions. Remember, I told you about the word accountability and the word responsibilities? Long words, short meanings. To hold yourself accountable for your actions. To be responsible enough to do your job in a manner of, okay, I go home, this person eventually is going to go home. The Daunte Wright, more and more I look at that tape and I said, maybe if that was handled a different way, maybe if they just pulled him over, went through the dialogues, this is what we have, and spoke in a tone that, well, okay, look at my man. You can't have the air freshener back there, all right? That's a violation. Also, you got a misdemeanor warrant that you need to go to the court and have. I don't care, you do it by Zoom or whatever, you need to handle that and go ahead and take care of that. Go handle that, go take care of that, you good. If the message that you didn't get on your dashboards that said armed and dangerous, fugitive from justice, or anything else, domestic violence issue, or anything else, you got to use your judgment. Is this guy a threat? Is this guy really a threat? Or is he a guy just in violation of a rule where you say, hey, take the air freshener out your window. Hey, you need to go get that tent fixed on your car. Hey, you need to go get that tail light on your car. It seems to me that the adrenaline, when they do something, the adrenaline just, they get that so much of that adrenaline rush that they're not thinking that, wait a minute, okay. Now you say, well, why are you saying this, John Hall? Because I've been in that situation. I've been in that situation where an officer had his gun on my temple. And maybe if he unthumbed his safety and just that itty bitty pressure that it takes to pull the trigger, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. And a knee in your back, I have a surgically replaced hip. And this guy had his knee in my back and my hip. Mm-hmm. So I know where you've been. I know where you've been. I know where a lot of these people have been. Fortunately, I wasn't Philando Castile or John Crawford or Tamir Rice or Alton Sterling. Sandra Bland, Eric Garner. All these things could have been prevented if the police would have just took a different approach. Talk to the person. Hey, man, what's going on? Mr. Garner, what's going on? You selling loose cigarettes? Come on, man. You know you can't be selling loosies around here. Talk to him. Well, what happened, man? I just broke up a fight in front of him, man. I ain't trying to do nothing. No. Tamir Rice, you pull up a 12-year-old playing with a toy gun. You didn't see no bullets coming out of that gun. You didn't see nothing coming out of that gun. You just seen the kid and out there, I'm going to get you, pow, pow, pow. The same game I used to play as a kid. But instead of you figuring that out, that that's a 12-year-old boy, you jumped out the car. You didn't even say freeze. Get on the ground. Throw the gun on the ground. Get on the ground. Maybe if you did that, the kid probably would have been terrified, but at least he probably would have been alive. John Crawford had no chance. He was in a Walmart in Ohio, an open carry state, holding an air rifle, looking at it, going like, hey, man, that looks pretty cool. Somebody got 911 called and said there was a black man inside of Walmart brandishing a gun. And if the police would have got a chance to say, all right, Mr. Crawford, get on the ground. And it's an air pistol. Walmart sells guns. I know it for a fact. Walmart does sell. They sell hunting rifles, all kinds of stuff. Hunting knives. They sell weapons in there. Depending on what Walmart you go into. But Walmart does sell those things. He's dead. The young man who was in Cincinnati, at the University of Cincinnati, driving his car. I don't know his name. I'll find out. Dead. Ahmaud Arbery. Dead. And you get these pundits like Brandon Tatum. Yeah, I'm calling you out, Brandon Tatum. The former Tucson police officer who's got a little website where he sells his little trinket, Officer Tatum. Goes in quoting stuff, well, a citizen of Georgia can make arrest. You can only make a citizen's arrest when you're watching somebody in the commission of a crime. If they're committing a crime and you do a citizen's arrest, it's another story. But if they're just going along like Ahmaud was, looking in the house and say, oh, that's nice, and run out of the house, go back onto his job, he ain't got no weapons on him. No weapons on him, nothing. And then get shot down like a dog in the street. Come on, man. You know what it is. If this case did anything else, it's like T.I. said, you know what it is. You know what it is. You know what it is. Big shout out to Attorney General Keith Ellison and his prosecution team. They did a near flawless job. They did a near flawless job. With all that, and they made sure, darn sure, when they gave the jury this case, there would be no doubt. There would be no doubt at all. Because they knew if it was not, there was going to be some repercussions behind it. I'm glad it wasn't any repercussions because we don't need that. Now, I don't know about the other 3 officers that was charged in this case. I don't know when their trial's going up. I know Attorney General Ellison said we're not done yet. You got Dante Wright. I know either, they're going to take it to the trial, I think. I don't know. I really don't know. I'll find out. We'll find out and see if they do or if they don't. Kind of hope. I kind of hope that they don't. I kind of hope that they go through this. We still got, I don't know what's going on in Kentucky. But I do think the officers that killed Breonna Taylor should be going to court too. We don't know when the Ahmaud Arbery trial is going to convene. Maybe it convened this summer. We're definitely going to find out because, you know, those two folks, the longer that lingers, that's going to cause a problem. Well, you know, hit the subscribe button if you like what you saw. Hit me back with some feedback. None of these dumb, stupid ass people who looking at the thing, going up there and leaving, trying to leave porn sites and whatever. Don't do that. Please, I told you, if you got a comment, leave me a real comment. I don't care about your nasty fetishes. Just leave me a real comment. If you liked it or not, if you didn't, that's fine. But if you liked it, leave a real damn comment. That's all I'm asking. Peace. Talk to y'all later.